what is our physical body? It's a good place to start, right? In my view, the physical body is a condensation of subtle emotional energy that begins in our soul, crystallizes down into more dense material that makes up what we call our spirit body, and then that condenses further down into what we understand as the physical body, although it's actually not physical, and we know this through physics, right? Our eyes do not tell us the entire story, because when we start examining the physical body, we learn that it is actually more space than stuff. There is more empty space between the particles of charge that are rolling around in the different elements inside the molecules, inside your cells, inside the organs and tissues of your body that make up your physical body. That physical body is animated by the spirit body, okay? And when we have issues here in the physical world, everyone wants to address the physical body. Not to suggest that Google is the most reliable source, but if you Google Americans on prescription medications, according to the Mayo Clinic, it's something like 70% of Americans are on some sort of prescription medication, okay? Let's talk about what prescription medication really is. It is material that is combined for the purposes of making other people money. Prescription medications and pharmaceutical companies use a subscription-based model to keep customers coming back every single month. So when the pills are made, the energy and intention that goes into making that stuff is non-loving. It actually is sorcery. Pharmaceuticals are sorcery. And you know, like, I live in a place where there are many spiritually aware people who like to call themselves witches, which is fine. You know, if you're manifesting actively, you could call yourself a witch or a wizard or whatever you like, you know. But the truth is that the highest levels of our society are doing the same thing. They just don't use those same words, right? So, like, take, for example, if you have high blood pressure. Well, if you have high blood pressure and then you go and you see a so-called Western medical practitioner, they will oftentimes prescribe you a tablet or sorcery to artificially reduce the blood pressure that goes through your body in order to solve that problem. But no one ever asks the cause of why you have high blood pressure to begin with, right? So if your arteries or veins are clogged with material because of a variety of reasons, your heart is a very intelligent organ, and it knows that it needs to pump at a certain rate in order to get blood everywhere it needs to be in your body so that the blood can deposit oxygen in every single cell which is needed for us to live, right? Well, if your heart is being artificially slowed down, essentially what is happening? What's happening is your blood is moving slower and cannot effectively get to every nook and cranny of your body. And therefore, your cells of your body are losing oxygen. I like to say that if you're on blood pressure medication for any length of time, you probably have brain damage. Because what do you call it when you have a lack of oxygen in your brain? Right? So that is an example of how we have an issue and we expect other people to solve it for us, right? Their intentions are non-loving, and no one's interested in finding out the root cause of an issue, so therefore they're only treating effects. This is, in my view, erroneous thinking and non-helpful logic. Incomplete logic, really, because it totally disregards our spirit nature of this place. So if that's the case, then how do we start to address our physical body, right? Well, some people like to do physical things. So like, for example, I enjoy practicing yoga, right? And while I don't practice yoga as much as I used to, there was a time in my life when I was probably 100 pounds heavier than I am now, okay? And I practiced yoga 5, sometimes 6 times a week in an attempt to change my physical body to make it leaner, more strong, more flexible, and honestly more attractive because I still have vanity. No doubt about that, okay? However, if I address my emotional state, that will be a faster way of how to change the physical body. Because again, if the physical body is just a manifestation and a condensation of energy in our spirit body, in our soul, it would make sense that if we look to address our spirit body or address our soul, that our physical body will heal. Most people do not want to believe this is true. Not only because it's frightening for a person to begin to conceptualize that every single thing that happens to them, their soul has played a role in attracting, and it also is very difficult for people to understand that they themselves can change their own situation, but it involves recognizing the truth about our current reality and how this place operates.